Got Your Back Pod Stream is brought to you by Mr. Dirk. From casual wear to suits and formals, Mr. Dirk helps you find the perfect fit with the right look for any occasion. Step up your wardrobe at MrDirk.com. So the shorthanded Edmonton Oilers walk into Vegas and slam the door shut on a 6-game winning streak that Vegas had going on. What a mature win by this group. Sans Connor McDavid, sans Matthias Ekholm. Wasn't a great start, but they got it on track. Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. So glad you're joining us here on this Tuesday night for our post-game edition. Struds is coming up. Zuby we have as well. And we will chat with Rob Brown in a little bit, breaking down a game that I think Oiler fan has to feel pretty good about it. And who among you hasn't been in Vegas, off to a bad start, and you're saying to yourself, stay the course, steady the ship, I'm going to turn this thing around. We've all been there. The Oilers got through it tonight. As always, our show brought to you by Play Alberta. Why choose Play Alberta? Well, just ask any hockey fan who loves the odds boosts or player props, same game parlays, or slots players who love the big jackpots, or lottery players who can grab last minute tickets on the go. If you deposit today, you'll get a $50 free bet with the code GYB04. That changed. We are now in April, so that's code GYB04 at playalberta.ca. Coming at you from our Adrenaline Diesel studio. Did you know they have an online store for all your diesel truck parts needs? Check out adrenalinediesel.ca. As we say, good evening to Zuby and Jason Strudwick, stars of the Struddy's World Show. Another episode set to drop tomorrow from 12 to 1 o'clock Mountain Time. Looking forward to that, fellas. And you must have been to Vegas, Struds, and been off to a bad start where you feel like, oh, this is going to go bad, and then steady the ship. There is a way to steady the ship in Vegas after a poor start.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've never done it. I do have bad starts, bad middles, bad finishes, but it's worth it. It's so much fun. But maybe it's a little different when you're on the ice. And credit the Oilers. I mean, something shifted after that first intermission, and they started right in the beginning, right first shift of the second period.
Mm-hmm. Zuby, any big Vegas losses?
Yeah, none that I want to get into here, but I do have a story about a guy I went to school with. Told me a story that a friend of his went and blew everything on a spin of the roulette wheel, everything he had the first moment he got there. So then he went to a gas station somewhere and basically was offering people this was many years ago. He'd say, I'll pay for your gas with my credit card if you give me cash, and he was giving them a discount to get some cash going again. I mean, that doesn't sound right today, because I'm sure you could still just cash advance on your credit card. So this is like 20 some years ago. But that's how that guy's Vegas trip started.
Yikes. Well, the Oilers Vegas trip started ugly and then got a little bit better. By the way, Struds, absolute game changer for these 8 o'clock starts. I'm going to recommend this to you. I don't know if you can pull this off tonight, if either of you guys can. Here's what I did tonight. So these 8 o'clock starts, we're getting older, right? A little tired by that time. Second intermission, I go, hey, Siri, wake me up in 18 minutes. 17-minute power nap during the second intermission. It was dynamite. I went right out. It was like I closed my eyes and the alarm went off. Fresh as a daisy. I'm not going to yawn once through tonight's pod. I'm calling it.
Wow.
I like that.
Game changer.
That's wise. Yeah, that makes sense. You're onto something there, buddy.
Yeah. Well, second intermission snooze, Zuby.
That's amazing. If I knew I could fall asleep that quickly, that would be one thing. But I don't have that kind of confidence that I'm going to fall asleep in that first minute there.
It's
especially looking at Thursday nights an 8:30 start. So that Gary keeps giving.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
just keep it started and later and later. Why not just start it at midnight? Just a
Thursday
late one,
night
just
game
so I'll stay
against the
up.
Sharks. Yeah.
Yeah. Midnight Madness at the Brick. We're going to play it. We're going to go start the games at midnight.
Hey, I watched and listened to a good portion of last night, and that was very entertaining. And I did want to say here, I don't know if this came up, I didn't watch every minute, but Clarence Tang saying here early in the show, Shaugger, don't fret, you won the great potato chip debate. You said you needed a win, but you did come out on the right end of the potato chip. Now I still disagree with that and the results, but there's your win.
That was more because I had Brownie on my side for that one. When it's just me, I don't stand a chance, as was evidenced the other night. I mean, that was so skewed towards personality bias. Everybody likes Struds, so they're going to vote his way no matter what he says. They're just going to vote his way because he's the popular one on the show.
They didn't do that with the chips, right? So I think that the people are actually trying to be accurate. Now, to be fair, again, the chips, we closed the poll much later, but whatever. Let's not revisit voting discrepancies.
Your conspiracy theories on when we close the poll. All right, let's get to breaking down this game. A big win for the Oilers in Vegas. Our breakdown is brought to you by the Alberta Ram dealers. A 2025 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. Visit your Alberta Ram dealer to get into this award-winning truck at a competitive price. Capable, stylish, powerful Ram. Beautiful on the outside and in. Look at that interior. Fantastic vehicle. Go check out your local Ram dealer for a test drive. Okay, Struds. I guess maybe we'll do this a little bit in chronological order. By the way, there was a player that I really, really liked tonight that I thought had an excellent performance, an important performance that I think will be good for him. Can you guess who that is right off the hop here?
Kapanen?
No. Interesting that you said his name, though. Interesting.
Whoa.
Okay, well, I'm going to save that. Remind
right.
me, and we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. That's a teaser. Not that anybody cares. So the start, Struds, what was going wrong at the beginning of the game? Because, boy, Vegas seemed to be in a lot of control, and the Oilers were kind of getting in their own way. Not a good way to start a hockey game.
It wasn't ideal. They looked, and this is probably unfair, but they didn't look ready to go. Vegas looked organized. Vegas was on it. And Vegas kind of controlled the territory. Now, even though at times the Oilers were in the offensive zone, they were mostly on the perimeter. And this is something that when Vegas is playing well, that's how they play. They keep it to the outside. You're moving the puck around the outside. I mean, how many times did Jack mention that the only shot the Oilers had was from 73 feet? That number is just drilled in my head. And he was right. So, I mean, they weren't getting to the middle of the ice. And that's what Vegas does. They kind of lull you to sleep a little bit. And it's a dangerous place to be. So I thought just right from the get-go that's where it was at. And then, Leon, he has more leeway to make plays, and that pass kind of just got away from him a little bit. And boom, they counter punch, goal. And I was like, oof, that's not good. It's not a good start. But they kind of, weathered the rest of that period to get to the intermission, just 1-0.
Yeah, and they come out in the second period, and it just seemed to me like they just kind of seemed to relax a little bit, Struds. They weren't forcing things the way it felt like they were in the first period, and it's almost like they matched Vegas's patience level with the puck in that second period and kind of waited for their opportunities. And of course, it ends up being power plays that is a big deal for them. But Wallman gets an important goal. His first as a member of the Oilers, his 7th of the season. That was like an Ekhomian slap shot coming down that left side.
Yeah, I like how you frame that. That's a really good way of putting it. I think it was. But what I would say is that, and you kind of said it there a little bit, but they started just, if there was a play, they made it quickly. They didn't look and see, well, there's a play, I'm looking for something else. They just, think of the goal. Top right of the circle to Bouchard to Wallman. He comes in and just hammers that in there. Podkolzin to Bouchard to Wallman. Bang. There's no looking for, there's a better play for us. So I think they got into that mindset. But then also I think someone must have said after the first intermission, guys, this is going to be just a calm game. Just don't make mistakes. Don't give them easy chances like how they got their first goal. Let's just beat them at their own game. I mean, how many good chances were there on either end tonight? like a handful. Could you
Yeah,
count on
it was low
you know,
event.
one
Yeah.
really low. So both teams were kind of just playing it. Just we're just going to be patient, and it was a calm, low event game, and the Oilers settled into it after the first period and got that goal early in the second.
Let's stay focused on the transition from the first period to the second period,
Sure.
and kind of how things turned around. Victor Arvidsson post-game in the Weiss Johnson soundbox.
I think we took care of the puck more and in the offensive zone, and we created more time there. So I think that was the key to the game.
Whatever you can share with us, maybe take us between these walls and between the first intermission and what was kind of said to kind of spark what was a good second period for you guys.
No, just that. Just be more patient with the puck and make one more play instead of just trying to make that the final play right away. Like wait for the moment. So it was kind of that.
And here's Jake Wallman on grabbing his first goal.
Yeah, it felt great. I think getting my chances. So it was nice to see that one go in, and we have a great group of guys. So I think that was a tough battle, and it's a tough team, and we play well.
All right, and of course, our soundbox is brought to you by Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. If it's time for a new furnace, garage heater, or hot water tank, you're looking to beat the rush on getting a new AC for this summer, act now. The crew over at Weiss Johnson, they're seeing that uptick in requests for air conditioning. So get on it now. Visit weiss-johnson.com today. Jingle.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
So Wallman ends up tying it with the 1-1 goal, Struds, and then a sequence of events that puts the Oilers onto a 5-on-3. I mean, pretty obvious call, I would say, to put Vegas down 5-on-3 like that. You get your stick right into the hands like that. You leave the ref basically no choice.
Well, 100%. And what I love about that is that Leon drives the net and forces the D-man to make a choice, right? And that's like hockey 101, the most basic thing. And I, as a D-man, I hate it when guys would drive the net hard like that because I've got to make a choice. What am I doing here? Am I fronting him? Am I going to play above him? And if I do that and he gets behind me, now we've got a big problem. So he gets behind him. I think was it McCabe? I think it was. And now he's got to reach behind it, boop, give a little bit of a can opener to try to not let that puck, get to his stick and make a play. So I love that. Leon just said, I'm driving the net off the rush and something's going to happen here, a goal or a penalty. And they got the penalty, and that was a beautiful thing.
So how about that delay and feed from Ryan Nugent Hopkins, who, by the way, skating around out there with a level of confidence that I don't even know if confidence is the right word, but just a level of, he's just in it right now. He's in it, Struds, in a different way right now.
He is. And I think he's really taking ownership of his line or his, his role as a centerman. Now, it doesn't reflect it in the stats because he was 40%, but it felt like he won some fairly key faceoffs and just got down and snapped them back right away. So, there was one, I think it wasn't on that power play. I think he did against Jack Eichel, the 5-on-3. I think Leon got kicked out and he went in, if I remember, or maybe it was the 5-on-4. But either way,
Leon didn't take any draws tonight. He got kicked out of every one.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So, but Nuge just looks like this is it. He's taking control and he's doing what, we know he can do. We've seen him do it. And just that play, I mean, they're working around and kind of a weird setup a little bit, kind of where the puck was. And you could tell they're looking for Leon. I think everyone knew it, but I honestly thought Nuge was going to shoot that. So did everybody else. And he comes over and just cuts it, snaps it right, flat across to Leon. And Leon just hammers it home. Like you could see Leon's response. What a effing pass. Bang, right away.
So nice. Because everybody's waiting for that pass to come across. So by making that extra little move, he got everybody moving back in towards the goaltender, which opened up Draisaitl. Avi Hoffman chimes in here and says, Nuge is the key on power play and circle, dots. He sets up movement, filthy touch pass to Leon. Power play stays sharp going into the playoffs. So Avi, liking what they're seeing on the order power play, even without Connor McDavid. Dallas Scarlett says that 5-on-3 power play face-off win was huge. Definitely agree. Bobo Fett says Nuge fake was like an Iverson crossover. 3 nights bid on it. Beautiful. Yeah, very strong. Very strong move and a strong night from Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Okay, Struds, I shall reveal my player who I really liked tonight, who I thought was really, really good. With a season high 17 minutes and 14 seconds of ice time, 16 minutes of that at even strength, Vasily Podkolzin tonight, I thought had a really good game. I thought he was good on the wall in his own end. I thought he had some puck pursuits in the offensive zone. Struds, there were a couple that were obvious where he got in there, disrupted, flat out turned over the puck and then got it to 29. And there were some other ones where just by hustling, even if he couldn't get there, he just rushed them a little bit. And a play was made that wasn't a perfect play, and it ended up in more zone time. Trusted to be on the ice in the last minute 40. Knobloch kept the Draisaitl line together. So trusted, given ice time, leaned on, continues to make plays, dig pucks out for Draisaitl. I really think Podkolzin had a solid night tonight that he can build off of.
Yeah, it's a great point. I think what I liked about his game, and when he's at his best, or when he's on his game, he's disruptive. And I think you use that word. Yeah. So what is that? That means when you're going in to get the puck's been dumped in, or you're trying to recover pucks, even if you don't get the puck, you at least kind of stall it. So now someone else can come in and get the fight. Too often, if a D-man gets in, he just passes up to his winger and you kind of just fly by him, or you get there just a second too late, or you don't get a stick on that puck to bobble a little bit. It's just too easy. So he kind of contains things or stalls it. And that's when he's, at his best. And I think that's one of the things Leon likes about him. He keeps plays alive in the offensive zone, or gives it a chance to be kept alive.
So he ends up with 4 hits on the night. And I'll point out tonight, this is one of those nights where the Oilers significantly out-hit their opponent and won. And again, I'm not saying that the key to winning every game is by out-hitting your opponent every single night. That's never been my suggestion. But I think that there's a competitiveness that comes out in the group when they start playing that way a little bit. Struds, what did you think about that discrepancy in physicality tonight? Do you think it made a difference for the Oilers tonight? Not trying to win the whole season's argument on one game, just asking, because they did out-hit them here.
They did, and it was significant, really significant. But when you look at that team, who are some of the more physical players on that Vegas team?
Barbashev.
Haig's a guy, but Haig had no hits tonight, right? As a D-man. I think Braden McNabb's another guy. He had no hits tonight. Some of the guys that I thought, White Cloud did. He absolutely blew him up. So I actually thought, the point I'm trying to make is I thought their D weren't that physical today. I don't watch everyone in the game and track all their stats, but you do get them from the D as much as the forwards. And I thought that they were a little less physical. But I thought the Oilers had the intention to come out and be physical. And maybe that was something after the first period, say, hey, let's get on these guys, get on the body, and try to slow them down and wear them down in their end or everywhere, actually.
Yeah, Matthias Janmark with 5, Zach Hyman with 3. Who else here? Kapanen. Max Jones got 4 in his 6 minutes of ice time. Podkolzin had 4. So some guys that, can do it, decided to do it tonight. And they definitely, won that battle tonight in terms of the physicality. Struds, let's push ahead to defending the lead. So the Oilers gave up, where is it? They held Vegas to 12 shots through the last 40 minutes of play. So when this thing shifted for them, they did a really nice job. In that last couple of minutes, there were some fantastic individual efforts. So we'll point out a block shot from Wallman. We'll point out a block shot from Darnell Nurse, with his upper body, which is never fun. That save from Calvin Pickard was really something. Now, I know Vegas missed their share of open nets tonight, but I thought the Oilers had some great individual efforts in locking this thing down.
Yeah, they did. And guys, they were going for it. Like, they wanted to get this win. And the things you're talking about, those are hard. Specifically, the Wallman and Nurse blocks. Like, those are putting your face in front of a shot to try to stop it. There were a couple, the couple open nets that were missed. Those were wide open. And I think some of those guys will have some nightmares about that.
And a post maybe like that.
Yeah. Well, the post from Michael,
Yeah.
the Russian missing the wide open net, Dorothiev. So, I mean, those are ones that you'd like to have back. But at the same time, you kind of make your own luck, right? By the way you play and force guys. The only concern I had a little bit was I thought that the Oilers in their own zones, they lost a couple of puck battles on the wall, kind of above the top of the circles, that I thought they should have won, or they could have just poked the puck out, or they got on the wrong side of the puck. So I think that's something I'd like to tweak if I was Knobloch. Just I felt that there could have been more done there, and they got lucky. They got away with it a little bit.
Yeah. So Calvin Pickard, first time he's ever started 3 consecutive games in his time here with the Oilers, and just a really solid performance, as you put it, or as we put it, low event night. But he did have to make some difficult save, Struds, where, not necessarily conventional, but really, really clutch and really solid. So, I mean, good on Calvin Pickard, the backup, for rolling along here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough game to take on. It's a good team. You're chasing them down. Unlikely the Oilers probably catch them. But, and I think the save that I like the most, well, there was a few, the Dorothiev at the end of the game, but not long before that, you find yourself face-to-face with the 4th leading scorer in the NHL, Jack Eichel, who's standing there, and he just held his ground. He's like, I'm not moving. I'm not flinching. And because I believe, at least when you see a top player like that, and Brownie can answer it better, kind of holding, they're waiting for something to open up. And he didn't see anything. So he tries to throw it back door. And I think that was Sam Kapanen was there to pick that up. But it was, nice night by him. And you could tell after he was excited, and the guys are always excited. Like when he wins, it's like it's his first win. They're all so happy for him. And that's a great sign.
Post-game, Chris Knobloch on Calvin Pickard.
A lot of credit for him. I mean, the guys feel happy for him that he's doing that. And not only do I like him for being a good guy, but I like the fact that he's playing pretty well and winning us a lot of hockey games.
Yeah, the save he made on Dorothiev at the end. I haven't seen a guy come out that far since Grant Fuhr. Not many guys in the league that have that style.
Well, that's what maybe Pix doesn't have with the technical side of it. He makes up for it with just reading the play, his hockey sense. For him to read that pass was going through, he knew exactly who was going to be over there. It's a one-time shot. It's not that they were going to make a second play. He had to come out and challenge it, and he did a heck of a job doing that.
All right, let's get to our relentless player of the game, brought to you by UCAN Youth Services, an Edmonton charity that's relentless in providing possibility for the youth in our community. Mental health is the foundation for growth and success, not just surviving. With 2 in-house counselors providing free therapy sessions, their youth have support while they navigate their struggles and rediscover their strength. It's a wonderful program. Visit ucan.ca to donate today. Struds, who gets the great honor on this eve? Muted there, bud.
I don't see a clear path here, Shaugger, to somebody. So I might defer to you tonight. I have a sense of who I would go with, but I don't. I'm almost. How do you want to say it? I don't really have one. My sense is to give it to the netminder, Calvin Pickard. But I feel there are others.
It wasn't an overly busy night for him. Yeah, it wasn't an overly busy night for him.
No, and so that's. I feel like that's like, well, we just give it to the goalie. We're not sure who to give it to. So I'm open for suggestions. Your suggestion of Podkolzin, I think that's a fair one. I like Kapanen's game too.
Yeah. You know who I think maybe we haven't really even talked about yet outside of a block shot? But does Darnell Nurse deserve a little recognition here? Like the guy played almost 24 minutes tonight.
Okay.
8 shot attempts, 3 block shots, couple of hits, like just solid, taking tough minutes.
Sure.
I also like parts of Wallman's game tonight too. So I would be good with either one of those, but I'm going to go ahead and say Darnell Nurse tonight as a little bit of an off the board pick. We'll give him a little bit of credit in a defensive matchup like this. Guys like that have solid nights, maybe not in ways that stand out a ton, but when you play that many minutes and the other team gets 12 shots through 40 minutes, you've done something right as a defender. So, yeah, we'll go with Darnell Nurse tonight for our relentless player of the night. All right, expecting Rob Brown here fairly shortly. But before we take a quick break, let's get to our YouTube poll brought to you by our friends over at DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. The snow is going to be melting soon, so the golf season is right around the corner, and 2025 gear is fully loaded up at DeBoer's. They're booking fittings about 10 days in advance, so call to get your spot. Get fit to play your best by the team dedicated to helping you play better golf. Visit them at 5311 99th Street here in Edmonton. Not going to lie, Struds with the Oilers on the road. Spent an obscene amount of time in the sim today, buddy. There was probably 36 holes and another 30 minutes hitting balls today. Got the new irons from DeBoer's, new putter from DeBoer's I'm working on. It was a great golf hockey tandem day for me today, buddy.
I like it. That's a nice little, what day is it today anyways? Wednesday?
That's a solid Tuesday. That's a solid Tuesday. Holy smokes. Get some sleep, buddy. Zuby, what do you got?
I have no idea what's going on. Go ahead, Zoops.
All right, so the poll question tonight is, how many goals do you think Leon Draisaitl will finish the season with? We got 53 to 55, expecting we'll get 53, at least a couple in there. So we'll throw that in there to have every option covered. 53 to 55, 56 or 57 is the next option. Third option is 58 or 59, and the final option is 60 or more. How many games?
Sure he's going to play every game
left
for the rest of the year. Yeah, 8 games left, but I don't know if he's going to play every game. Hey, Struds. So let's say he plays 6 or 7. I'm going to give him 4 more goals. So I'm giving him 56. You?
He's already had a break, man. He had a 4 or 5 game break, didn't he? I mean, I guess if it's injury prevention, that's one thing, but rest, does he need it?
I think you're into injury prevention mode. That last game of the season against the Sharks, unless home ice is on the line, I think you're into injury prevention territory, aren't you?
If that's the case, that's fair. Yeah, so I think 3 or 4 is fair enough. You got to expect a big night from him, although I just got 2 goals the other night.
Yeah. All right, that is our DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll. Zuby, you got a hunch on that? What do you think?
8 games. It seems like he's getting one every game. My hunch is kind of, how about this? I think he gets 60. I think he gets 59, and they'll finally get an empty net goal to make it. They'll get an empty net chance in the last game of the season, and they'll leave Leon out for 2.5 minutes, and everyone will pass it to him.
All right.
I'll take the optimistic.
Yeah. And if he has a game here in the next 2 or 3 where he grabs a couple, if he gets like 4 goals over a 3-game stretch, now you can smell 60. And now everybody smells 60. And now that becomes the mission at the end of the season here. So, if he gets close, they'll start pushing it hard in that direction. So
they don't play Nashville again, do they? Because it seems like he gets 3 or 4 every time they play Nashville. That would be very helpful.
Yeah. Somebody was asking me what launch monitor I have in my simulator. Appreciate the interest in that. Got SkyTrack in there.
Classic.
Good, solid, middle of the way technology. It's not like that $25,000 TrackMan stuff, but it's kind of middle of the way. So thanks for your interest in that. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we should have Brownie joining us pretty quickly. There was some somewhat news on McDavid, Frederick and company and the Walking Wounded that are now on the road with the Edmonton Oilers. We'll discuss that, and we'll continue to break this game down. We got Brownie Points in Struddy's world. We got Taking a Lap. We'll see what else is going on around the league, our core Blue Liners, and ask us anything. Fire us your questions into the chat. Tons more ahead here on Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
Join over 250,000 Canadians who have upgraded to Canada's best mattress. Douglas is proudly made in Canada and ships directly to your door for free. Douglas is easy to set up. Enjoy perfectly balanced comfort and an easy-to-clean machine washable cover. Get a free sleep bundle with your Douglas mattress. Try risk-free for 365 nights. Get your Douglas mattress today.
What a great number we've got joining us on the live stream tonight, pushing 600 here at 11:33 p.m. Mountain Time post-game. Let's get those likes going. I don't know, Struddy, we got to put something on the line. Can we get to 175 likes in this show? And if we do,
sure.
I don't know. What do we got, Struddy? You feel like putting your heart and soul into singing the Weiss Johnson jingle if we can get to 175 likes? Struddy? You good with that?
I'm not the actor. You and Brownie are. So you guys can you guys
apparently
are
you are the actor. The people chose you.
I asked to not be chosen. I suggested one of you two. Right? You guys.
Someone will sing the Weiss Johnson jingle if we get to 175 likes.
But that's not enough. That ain't enough though. 175.
No?
Come on.
Well, what are we at right now?
We're at 106 already.
Oh,
we got 600 people in here. It should be 300. 250
okay,
or 300. Yeah.
Okay, 300 likes and someone will sing something. Time now for takeaways, brought to you by Horizon Ag and Turf. Spring is here, which means yard work is about to begin, right? Make it easy with a John Deere compact utility tractor ready to tackle any task. Visit Horizon Ag and Turf to find the right model of tractor for you. And right now you can get 0% financing for 84 months on select compact tractors. Visit Horizon Ag and Turf at one of their 13 Alberta locations or online at horizonagandturf.com. So, Struddy, Connor McDavid is on the road after all. Trent Frederick there as well. They were skating with the group today, which is good. Evander Kane continuing to skate with the group as well. Good signs that McDavid is out there with the rest of his team. I'm not sure how much longer this is going to end up being, Struds. But ideal for McDavid to have gotten this rest, but potentially to be ready to go here. Maybe even against the LA Kings. Wouldn't that be nice for the Oilers?
It's huge. I think it's huge that both of them are out there. Trent and Connor. And it's funny you bring up this idea of rest. You touched on Skinner a little bit. Maybe that Skinner, he's maybe trending the right direction, I think is positive. But I'm actually now developing a bit of a concern about rest for Calvin Pickard. I think that he's played a ton of games lately. And I think for Calvin Pickard, they might have to look at resting this guy. So I've kind of got a schedule laid out here. I think that with 3 games in California, they've got Thursday Sharks, Kings Saturday, Ducks on Monday. I'm going to go Olivia Rodrigue in San Jose and in Anaheim. And if Skinner can play Saturday against the Kings, I do that. If not, I might go back to Rodrigue again, just to make sure that Calvin Pickard is fresh and rested for when they get back. He's played 3 games in a row. He's played a lot of hockey.
But they'll have a roster. They'll have a roster issue, Struds. Like, they're not going to be able to just drag 3 goaltenders around on that roster, sort of picking and choosing between Pickard, Skinner, and Rodrigue. Like, I understand what you're saying. I mean, if you think Stuart Skinner is going to be available for Saturday's game against the LA Kings, play Pickard one more game. It's not a big deal.
If you're not sure with Skinner, you play Olivia all 3 games. Give Pickard the rest. Let him be the backup. He needs fresh legs. For the push, but he's played a lot of hockey.
We're worried about Pickard's workload here. Like, he hasn't played that much this season.
Well, 33 games. He hasn't played that much in a couple of years, right? And those were in the minors. It's more intense, more hard travel. Here, he's 32 years old. Zuby,
you are
what do
like
you think
the Zuby. What do you think?
Well, we got Brownie here, so I don't know if he heard what you guys were just saying, but maybe he could chime in.
Yeah, Brownie just said. I
did
think
not hear.
But with Pickard's workload recently, and they got 3 games in California, if Skinner is unable to play, well, even if he is, you play the bookends with Olivia Rodrigue, and then even if Skinner can't play, then you go 3 in a row with Pickard, Olivia Rodrigue 3 in a row to give Pickard the rest. He's played a lot of hockey. This guy's a huge part of their team.
Well, I think there's concern now. I mean, guys with concussions coming back. If Pickard's the guy in the playoffs, you know what I would do? Probably, I think I would go with Pickard in San Jose, and then I'd play Rodrigue, LA, Anaheim. I get one more game out of Pickard. I get the 2 points. Yeah, it's one of those ones. You right now you're in this race. LA is going to be the harder game. Take the because right now Bob asked me after the game, would you put Rodrigue in San Jose? And I understand you need to give Pickard a rest.
Okay,
but you could lose 2 points in San Jose because you have this young goalie that's never played in the National Hockey League. Take the sure points. Put Pickard in net there. Play Rodrigue Saturday in LA. And then play Rodrigue again on Monday. When do they play, Sunday or Monday against Anaheim? I don't even know
Monday.
What it is.
So, and then you find out
they
what
play back to
he's
back.
made of. Find out what he's made of.
That's true.
So,
you gotta, see, I'm not sure.
You guys want to give him his first start in LA against a team you're battling for home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. 0% chance this happens.
I love LA.
0.
That's what
There is no
that's where I
way
would start
starting Olivier Rodrigue in LA.
You got to. I think to me, you got to take. What if you lose? What if you go with Rodrigue in San Jose? You lose. Then you go to LA and you go with Pickard and you lose. There goes you're done. You no longer have a chance at second place. So go with Pickard. Get the sure 2 points in San Jose, and maybe Rodrigue steals one. Maybe he has a flash in the pan in LA. But I would go 100% Rodrigue Saturday against LA. I'd give Pickard the first one. But I am concerned about the amount of games he's playing, though, because I'm not sure if Skinner doesn't come back. I mean, you can't have if it's Pickard and Rodrigue to start the playoffs. I want a rested and healthy Pickard. I don't want to be. I mean, 3-4 games in a row, 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row. Eventually, the guy's going to break down.
Were they saying something on Ched tonight, Brownie, to lead you to believe that Pickard is in question for the start of the playoffs? I mean, he's got 2.5 weeks here still.
Pickard,
that's Skinner.
I'm just thinking concussions.
Yeah,
and what they're like.
Know.
I mean,
what
you never know. I'm preparing, but my biggest thing though is I'm putting Rodrigue in Saturday against LA. I would take the sure points with Pickard. Yeah. Pickard in San Jose.
I can't. I'm stunned here, Zuby. Like, help me out here. I'm stunned at this. That you guys think this would be a good idea?
What's the date of that LA game? Is the 5th?
The 5th.
And what's the date today?
The 1st.
The 1st.
Oh, today's April 1st.
April 1st today.
Are you joking? Is this an April Fool's joke? This is an April Fool's joke, right, you guys? Okay. Okay.
Get the hook out of your mouth.
Well done.
So
well done. I was sitting here thinking, oh my God, I'm about to win my first argument on the show in 3 seasons. In 3.5 seasons, I'm going to win my first argument on the show. And instead, I just swallowed the hook.
Oh, your reaction was perfect, though. I'm glad I had my mic closed because I was really laughing.
Were you in on this too, Zuby? You were in on this too. Whose idea was this?
Randine's.
Yeah, she jumped in.
Oh.
I've been sitting listening to you guys for 20 minutes because I've been waiting for Struds to throw it in there.
We had to make sure Brownie hadn't heard any of it.
Donkeys. So. You donkeys. That's so good. Well job. Well done. Another good April Fool's in town here. I believe Gene's wife, Karen Principe, didn't she announce she was running for mayor today? As an April Fool's. Yeah, somebody said that and had some of the news stations fooled, and so she dropped a pretty good one too. So, I'm part of me is so disappointed because it was going to be such a slam dunk for me, but that was really good and that was really well done. So, anyways, can I ask you, like, Kay Brownie, what do you think they should do with the goalies here now moving forward? Like,
I would play Rodrigue on Thursday in San Jose. I think honestly, I am concerned about Pickard playing. It would be 5 in a row in LA on Saturday. So I would play Rodrigue, give him his first start in San Jose, and trust your team to be good enough in front of him to beat a bad San Jose team. So I would play Rodrigue on Thursday. I have no idea what's going on with Skinner. I don't know if he's going to eventually be on this road trip or not. I doubt it.
Mellotron says, well done. Sorry, go ahead, Struts.
Same. I do the same thing. I'd play them on Thursday. the young guy. He's already got his beak wet. It won't be quite as nerve-wracking. It'll still be nerve-wracking, but at least he's touched NHL ice with NHL players.
Yeah. Stephen Petruk just gives a big laugh. I think we got him too. Sung J Chung says, had the entire chat fooled too. Gomez says, thank God. Nathan Big Uke says, bahaha, well played. We're getting a bunch of laughter. Good one, boys, says Ryan Smith knows. Matt Blom, the Blominator Blomsky says, the Blommer has been beaten by Dead Pound Brownie. By the way, I think Blommer's head's getting a little big here, Struds. We've inflated his head a little because he's now referring to himself in the third person. He said the Blommer has been. Yeah, he did. The third person. We've inflated this Canuck fan's ego.
I love it.
Man, Brownie, you got me. Your confidence sold it, says Dallas Scarlet. That's good. Brownie, who would you say impressed you tonight? Who's on your list?
Well, I thought Leon was excellent again. I thought Podkolzin and Arvidsson both played well. And on the back end, I thought there's a worry that sometimes they could be too high event, but I thought the pairing of Wallman and Bouchard were good. They played safe. Nice shot by Wallman. And then again, Darnell Nurse. I thought Nurse, the play that he made at the end of the game, reading the play to lay down and block that shot. I thought the Oilers as a whole played really well tonight. After the first period, that's a tough barn to win in, and role players understood their roles. But yeah, those are the ones that stood out for me.
Struds, Jack threw out a stat tonight that the Oilers have played in more one-goal games than any other team in the NHL. So this will make it 36 tonight, I believe. That's a lot of really close hockey to play through a season where you're really, really grinding. What did you think when you heard that stat? And do you think there's a cumulative effect of having to play such tight hockey so often?
Yeah, I think it's a positive because you're used to playing in those games. You're comfortable with them. And you're ready for that. You've been in those moments many, many times, and different guys have been in those moments because it's not just the last 2 minutes where you're protecting the lead. It might be 10, 15 minutes or a whole period. And so you're putting other guys out there that, hey, this point really matters or this play really matters. So I like it. I like the close games. I think it's better than winning 5-1 and then all of a sudden the playoffs figuring out, holy geez, we got to protect these leads. So I like it, Brownie. I think it's a good thing.
I agree with everything you said there. The only thing that I would throw back at you is when you play all these one-goal games, you need bounces and breaks in one-goal games. Tonight, Vegas hits a post, and then their best goal scorer misses a wide-open net. So when you are always in one-goal games, that means come playoff time, every game is up in the air. You don't have any easy games. So every night you need a bounce or a break to win. So that's the only thing going the other way. And when does eventually those goal games turn the other way? Like tonight, the Oilers got the benefit of the bounces. Now all of a sudden you're in a 7-game series. You hope that you continue to get those. But it is a confidence thing. They're confident they can win those games, and they should be.
Chris says, does the Best Actor award now go to Brown and Struds for that perfect hook, line, and sinker on who starts this week?
Well, I took the critique from my son to heart. And I seriously saw it and looked in the mirror all day long and practiced my lines. Struds and I had to read through a little earlier.
Your face when we start going, like, your face was hilarious. Zuby, got to get a screenshot. Like, he was just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it was so funny.
And I liked he kept looking at the schedule too on his wall. Like, what?
Did you at one point did you say they should play Rodrigue 3 in a row, Struts? Did you say that at one point?
Yeah, keep him fresh. Keep Pickard fresh, right? If Skinner's. I just try to I drag a little bit bigger. Than Brownie comes in. He's like, no, you can't. You got to play a pick on Thursday. Then him and Saturday. I was dying. Like, that's better. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
You're subtle. You're like, I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Brett. The one thing I absolutely am is extremely gullible. I will fully admit that. I am like, I bite the hook and swallow it, and you can pull it out the other end of me. Like, you can set the hook deep. with me. So nice job on that, fellas. Okay, that was Takeaways, April Fool's edition, brought to you by Horizon Ag and Turf. All right, when we come back, let's get to Brownie Points and Struddy's World. And then I'm making an executive decision. I want Brownie in for Ask Us Anything tonight. So we're going to have Ask Us Anything at the end of the next segment as well. So fire your questions in. Zuby, where are we at on the likes?
149. We've trailed off. Maybe you're 150. Maybe you're one. I don't know. I think that if people want to see something special, they gotta buck up here.
No, we're not giving it away for free.
It costs nothing.
We said
to
300.
hit the like button.
Yeah, we said 300. We're staying at 300. If you want the special thing to happen, we get to 300. It'll happen, and we're not going to compromise on that. Lots more ahead here on the pod. Stay with us.
At Gallery Dental, we believe in blending exceptional care with artistry to create the perfect smile for you. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic procedures, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch care in a relaxed and comfortable environment. With state-of-the-art technology and a passion for perfection, we ensure that every visit is a positive experience. Join the Gallery Dental family and let us help you achieve a smile that you'll love to show off. Contact us today at sequelandentistry.com.
Ready to go all in this season? Mr. Dirk's got you covered with express on-site tailoring, a wide selection of craftsman-made suits, sport coats, and casual staples for every occasion. Score big with Mr. Dirk. We've always got your back. Visit us off White Ave, south of 102nd Street, or browse online at mrdirk.com.
If you're considering a vinyl fence, don't be fooled by cheap marketplace imitations. Get top quality vinyl fence from a trusted company with 20 years in the industry. With locations in Calgary and Edmonton, check out dlrvinylproducts.ca. Struddy's World here, Zuby.
Okay. When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
Gotta look good. Yes, it is time for Struddy's World, brought to you by Timber House. If you're tired of those dull cookie cutter houses, Timber House is looking to shake things up. Their designs harness the power of natural light to brighten your days and lift your spirits, because life is too short for ordinary houses and dull living. Let them build you a place where laughter and good times are part of the blueprint. Visit timberhouse.ca. Struds?
Yeah, I saw their April Fool's Day where they said they're going to replace all the stairs with slides. And I'm like, geez, that's actually kind of a neat idea. And then I realized that sounds too crazy. Anyway, so we'll get a comment on this one from Brownie as well. But today, and I talked a little bit earlier, I noticed that oftentimes today the Oilers were on the wrong side of the puck. So that means when the puck is, let's say, trying to get out of your blue line and you go on the offensive side of the puck, now you're down. It's really like a 5-on-4 because you're no longer there. Even guys stretching the zone at times. Now, if you're trying to catch up a game or you're trying to maybe stretch a D, I can get it. But when you're protecting a lead, you got to be on the defensive side of the puck. And I saw it once in the neutral zone with Kapanen, and then Podkolzin and Arvidsson were on the wrong side of the puck when they're protecting. And that is, listen, they didn't get burned on it. It's not a big deal, but it could be a big deal. And you need to make sure that those guys understand to be on the defensive side of the puck the whole time you're trying to protect a lead. Now, I think Connor and Leon have done a good job of adjusting this in their game. And there are times to cheat, but in that moment, for those three guys, there's never a time to cheat when you're protecting a lead, Brownie.
You're 100%. I don't like the word cheat. I would call anticipate. I would anticipate the puck was going to bounce.
Wow.
But it's details. It's details and understanding at what time of the game. You can't anticipate or cheat when you're losing. 100%. You're down a couple goals. Puck is going up the boards. You know, I'm going to go past him and hope that thing bounce over his stick. Right. It's worth the risk. But when you're holding a lead, a 1-goal lead, and we're going to see, playoff hockey, it seems like it's 1 goal all throughout the night. And Shaugger just talked about how the Oilers play more 1-goal games than any other team. You can't be on the wrong side. So in your own zone, you're on the defensive side. You getting in the offensive zone, you're coming back again on the right proper side so that you're between their player and your goalie. And it's just simple. We've seen, and a great example is Zach Hyman. When he stands at the far blue line and they use that stretch pass on him, a lot of defensemen, they actually cheat. They're cheating on the side of where the puck is coming from. Mm-hmm. And when Bouchard blasts one past him and Hyman, he only needs half a step and he turns it into a breakaway every time. Those defensemen are cheating, trying to stop the pass instead of being on the proper defensive side. And it's been turning into breakaways. So you're right, Struds. There were a couple times tonight they didn't get beat, but you don't want the first time for that to go bad for you in an overtime or late in a hockey game, and it costs you a playoff game. So it's all about details. And I think the Oilers are much better at it than they have been in the past, and it's led by Connor and Leon. And there's guys on the third and fourth line you never anticipate. You are always in the proper spot.
Alex Kanye says cheaters sometimes win. So maybe, or anticipators sometimes win, I think is what he meant to say. We were remarking before, Brownie, about, Podkolzin solid night, that line having a pretty good night together, Arvidsson finding it again, and the fact that they were tasked with, I think it was a minute 50 on the clock or something like that, and put them out there as a line instead of sort of jerry-rigging a makeshift line of all defensive-minded players or whatever. What did you think of that decision to keep that line together for that? Because they did give up a pretty darn good scoring chance in the mid-slot there.
Well, and when you don't have Connor McDavid, that takes away one of the guys. It's the automatic. You would have to think who was on just before that, because it starts to dwindle. If the other three guys just went on, now here's your next three. You don't have Connor McDavid. Who are you going with? And they did have a good game. So I think that's what the coach is rewarding them for. You know what? I don't think that is your second line. I still don't believe that in the playoffs. But if for some reason they could catch fire and become the second line, and all of a sudden you're bringing back a Frederick and a Kane, and you're making a third line, oh my goodness, would that be a huge bonus for the Edmonton Oilers if Arvidsson and Podkolzin can find a little magic with Leon Drai settled down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. Anything on that for you, Struds?
No, I'm with you. I mean, I just want to see Frederick get healthy and get back on the ice and get on a line. Like, I just want to see him play, and then we can start put it, because he's going to need time to get up and running. It's been a while since he's played.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for either of you guys. Do you think Evander Kane's going to go to the minors?
Like in the playoffs?
No, like before the playoffs.
A quick couple of game conditioning stint.
I thought we decided he couldn't do that.
No, I think he can. I think he can go down before he comes up to the NHL. I think someone called in or someone told you, Shaugger.
Because he doesn't need to be activated. He doesn't need to be activated in a way that his cap hits the books.
Okay.
So you can't go down on.
But he has to agree to do it. That's the biggest thing. He has to agree.
Yeah.
You would think a guy would want to get a couple of games under his belt, hey, Brownie? Like, you would think if you have the opportunity to play in a few games.
I don't know.
I don't
know.
With Trent Frederick, Trent hasn't played since February 25th, right? It's been a while. I guess that's not as long as last June.
It's not as long as a year.
Different.
I don't know. I don't think Kane would do it. I don't know.
I don't think he would either.
I think he's going to say, I'm ready to go and put me in.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with Strauss on that one.
Gord Parch says he don't want to ride no bus. there might be something to that. Is there a spot where they've just got a couple of easy home games? Maybe that's where you would look at doing it. All right, that was Struddy's World, brought to you by Timber Hoss Developments. All right, let's roll the happy music because it is time for Brownie Points, brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. Did you know the ultimate game day snack is in fact Canadian owned and operated? Opened in 1962 right here in Alberta. Great family business. Support Canadian business. Take part in their April special. $97 for 3 pounds of jerky. And as always, free shipping Alberta-wide. Go to albertajerky.com. Enter the code GOTYOURBACK for an additional 10% off that as well. Brownie, you sneaky son of a gun, you. Bring us some brownie points.
All right, let's start off with a little love to the goalie. I got 19 brownie points to the Oilers' Calvin Pickard with another quality start. Big saves at big moments. The Oilers were not good in the first period. Calvin Pickard thankfully was. Pickard picks up his 19th win of the season. That's pretty good for your backup goaltender. I got 10 brownie points to a fantastic midseason pickup. St. Louis Blues defenseman Cam Fowler sets up the tying goal with under 30 seconds to play, then scores the OT goal to carry the Blues to their 10th straight victory and a stranglehold on the wild card spot. Fowler played 24 minutes tonight in the absence of Colton Parayko. That has been a very good addition to the St. Louis Blues. I got 31 brownie points to budding Columbus Blue Jacket superstar Kirill Marchenko. He had the hat trick tonight in an important 8-4 victory over Nashville, giving him 31 on the season. A freak injury when he got hit in the face while sitting on the bench slowed him down a bit, but he has come back. Kid might have had 40 goals this year. He's just a young superstar in the making in Columbus. I have 38 brownie points to Montreal Canadiens star captain Nick Suzuki, who scored goals 38 seconds apart tonight. One with 9 seconds to go in the game to tie it, and then the other one 29 seconds into overtime to win it. 2 important points for the Montreal Canadiens. It looked like they were going to drop the game against Florida, and they find 2 points to keep themselves in the playoff spot. And the last one, this is 60 brownie points to Montreal Canadiens, 21-year-old, kid's 21 years old, D-man, Lane Hudson, who became only the 10th D-man to have 60 points in a rookie season. He had 3 points tonight to move him to 62 on the year, which is 7th overall. The 6 D-men ahead of him are all in the Hockey Hall of Fame. It is a great start to the career of Lane Hudson, 21 years old. And those are my brownie points.
All right. Good stuff. Anything debatable in there, Struddy? What do you think?
No, I think you nailed it. No, the Lane Hudson is a great story.
Wow.
It'd be interesting to see what he does, because they've got him and Caden Gooley, 2 pretty good young D-men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're getting some players, just need time, right, to keep transitioning them. But
if they somehow make the playoffs, and just whether they win a game or not in the playoffs, but they just get a little playoff experience, some of those young players that they have, I think that would be huge. And I watched the end of that Montreal game. That place was going nuts. I'm pulling for Montreal. I want them to make the playoffs. I think that'd be pretty
Ottawa
cool.
and Montreal. I want them both in there.
Imagine Toronto, Ottawa first round series, or Toronto, Montreal first round series.
Please let us have it.
I didn't watch that game, but either of you guys have an issue with the fact that, I mean, Mikkola, there was nothing there. They just sort of let that ride. And again, when we talked about the NHL handing down the fine, part of why I like that is because it they took care of it a little bit there.
I just think the game was too important to the Canadians. They couldn't afford to take a penalty and give Florida a freebie on the power play. They need every single point. So I think they will take a number. They will play against the Florida Panthers again next year, but today was not the time.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It was such a dumb play. They'll get it.
It was dumb.
We're trying.
Yep.
It was about... All right. Okay, let's get to Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Struds, is the candle lit tonight or no? Did you forget the candle? I feel like you might have forgot the candle tonight, buddy.
No, I got it. Champagne toast. It's a great one.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yep.
Interest rates are dropping, making this the ideal time to consolidate your high interest loans and credit card debt. Combining those debts into one manageable payment at a lower rate helps you pay off your debt faster and keep more money in your pocket. So Maria Gallus at Maximum Mortgages, mortgagesbymaria.ca. She can help you with all of that. She takes great care of Randine and I. So give her a shout. Check her out on the website. Zuby hops on in. Zuby, direct your questions at Brownie and Struddy and let the people hear what they have to say.
Sure. Okay. Joe Dokes, our friend down in Florida, lamenting the Panthers' loss to the Habs tonight, wants to know, Struddy, you've been emphasizing puck management often lately. Have you seen an improvement on that in these last 2 games, wins, low-scoring games? Do you feel like they've been taking care of it better?
Yeah, I think like the second and third tonight were improvement. And you're never going to be perfect. Like the other team's trying to get the puck from you as well, but just not, throwing in areas of hope, just coming down the wall and throwing it to the middle, hoping that they get it. Leon has a way more, rope to play with than anyone else, but that's a bit of a casual pass there. Maybe he wanted to get it, get a little bit harder, but just those types of plays on the wall, being strong on that puck, D-man making hard, assertive passes, going back, making plays. Like that's what game management is to me. And it also includes what I talked about in Struddy's role, just being, in the right place defensively when the puck is there. So yeah, I think second and third were more what I envisioned for this team and what we've seen from them for a long stretch last year in the playoffs.
What you're going to find with puck management, count how many odd man breaks the other team has. Usually poor puck management leads to an odd man break. And the Oilers gave up the one tonight, and it was a bad play by Leon. After that, they were very good.
Quaddy with what I think is a kind of an astute observation. He said, Vegas totally waits for the Oilers' mistakes. They beat them at their own game today. I do feel like that's kind of Vegas seems to be like kind of a counter-punching team. Did you feel like that watching the game tonight, Brownie? And is that a good sign for the Oilers in a potential playoff matchup in a round 2?
Well, I think the Oilers over the last number of years have proved that they're very good at this as well. I don't think it's just Vegas's game. I think Oilers do that as well, as good as any team. I think Vegas is a good forechecking team. The Oilers had to be very good at getting back quickly, moving the puck quickly, taking the forecheck away from Vegas. But Vegas is good on, and Darnell Nurse talked about it before the game, they're good in transition. And usually transition is when you turn the puck over, they're coming quickly. So the Oilers were smart. They got pucks in deep, pucks behind the defenseman, chased them down. I thought both teams played very well in this hockey game. And the Oilers had one more bounce or one more break and ended up finding the way to win the hockey game. And the Oilers, again, another thing they're really good at now, Struds, too, is discipline. The Oilers are a very disciplined team. Vegas has the best power play in the National Hockey League. They only got one tonight.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Really good point there.
I'm gonna chime in here real quick. Jinsey Ruse says, "Hi Zuby, you're doing a great job. Keep it going." I would like to second that. I think you're having a great show tonight, Zuby. And then Neil Garrity chimed in and says, "Is Jinsey Ruse Zuby's mom?" Which I don't believe that's the case.
I don't believe so, but my mom has been trying to change her handle because she doesn't want her name with our name on it in the chat to be so obvious as being my mom. But from a distance, I have tried to help her change her name and I haven't been able to do it. So it's possible. Anyone could be my mom on the stream, but I don't think
you're having a great show though. Point being, you're having a great show. Keep it up.
Thank you kindly. All right. For Oilers, he addressed this to me, but I don't think he wants my opinion on it necessarily, but he says a cold eye view of the season stats would suggest to you that Pickard is the starter. 18-8-1, 271, 899 save percentage versus Skinner 24-18 and 4291, 894. So is Pickard the starter? Let's not answer that directly, but let's say, is there enough runway here and a scenario that plays out with a healthy Stuart Skinner back and Calvin Pickard still starts the first game of the playoffs? Struds, is there any scenario where that plays out?
April Fools.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that's the case. I think that we know who's a starter and who's a backup, and I believe that Pickard will get games in the playoffs or come in to relieve. But no, it is, to me, it's Skinner.
I agree, it's Skinner, but I do believe that there is a trust in Pickard that they could quickly move to Calvin Pickard if things don't go right with Stuart Skinner, quicker than probably in the past.
And I think the other thing to keep in mind on those stats, Zuby, like quality of competition, like Skinner's taken most of the tough matchups. And I think people, for the most part, need to keep that in mind.
Gomez, this comes up a lot. Maybe you guys have something new to say on it. Gomez says, how about let a winger take the draw? He gets tossed, and then they can drop it for Leon. We know how much Leon gets kicked out, and I think Louis DeBrusque was joking about it a little bit tonight. Do they keep a stat for this? It seems crazy as an observer, Brownie.
They probably do keep a stat. The only problem with that is if the winger gets tossed out on purpose and Leon goes in, and then they toss Leon out, then it's a penalty. So you can't do that. I mean, Leon gets tossed out because he's doing something wrong, and he doesn't argue it much. So he knows what he's doing wrong. He's anticipating when the puck's going down, and he's getting kicked out. So if he goes in second and he does what he normally does, there's a chance he gets a penalty, and all of a sudden the Oilers are shorthanded.
I think Louis' point might have been too that they rarely ever give that penalty. Or is it like a second serve in tennis? Like everyone's so careful once they're in there as the second guy, Struddy?
Well, you don't want to take that penalty. If you're the forward, like you do not want to take, as you come back to the bench, the coach won't be happy. So the first guy can cheat, the second guy, you play by the rules.
Yeah.
Okay, Lucas Hansley said, Nuge was excellent once again. Need more from Janmark and Connor Brown, guys. And then someone else sort of chimed in and said, if those guys are on the PK and they're not getting scored against 5-on-5, you don't need more from those guys. Where do you kind of land on that, Struddy?
Yeah, Janmark was pretty physical tonight, an element we haven't really seen in his game. But that line as a whole, I've seen him create more offensively than we did tonight in past games. I didn't think they had the best possession offensive zone time that we've seen recently.
And one of the reasons that there's people talking about who's going to be in and out when everyone comes back and's healthy, Janmark and Brown, to me, are in the lineup because of their penalty killing. If their penalty killing continues to be good, and what we saw last year in the playoffs, a penalty kill is just as good as a goal every third game from the fourth line if you continue to kill off the other team's power play. So Janmark and Brown have made their name because of their penalty killing.
Couple more here. Dallas Scarlett said, how effective do you think Evander Kane will be in the playoffs / how long of a leash do the Oilers give him? I mean, there's a lot to consider there, but do you think if he says I'm ready, they try to get him in, and if it's not there, they get him back out? What are you guys' thoughts on that, Struddy?
My expectations for any human coming out after that long or coming back in would be very low. This isn't a Evander Kane thing. I'd say the same thing about McDavid, Leon, anyone, Wayne Gretzky even. It's a long time to be out. So I'm a little bit concerned about him, but I think once you put him in, you have to keep working with him to get him going.
I think he'll come in as soon as he says he's ready, if it's the first game of the playoffs, and I think it's trending towards that since he's practicing and traveling with them. I think he plays the first game of the playoffs. He'll play probably fourth line and work his way into the game. I think what he brings, the physicality and the nastiness, is something that would be huge in a series against LA and in a series against Vegas. So I think his leash will be very long, unless, of course, it shows that he's not. But I think they will know his conditioning before they put him in the first game.
Okay. Hank 809, I wanted to get to this one. He said, do players these days go drinking together much? A comment Struddy made last podcast made me wonder. I know they did back in the day, but how about now, Brownie? How different is it?
I imagine a lot different. I know that we used to go after practice for lunch, and then it would turn into dinner, and then we'd see the third waitress change at 11. So it was when we played. But we used to travel like Struds. I don't know, was it your whole career? But the first half of my career, we flew commercial, so we stayed over everywhere. So every time we played in a city, we stayed over that night and went out that night after the games. And then we flew the next day. So I don't know if they have as much opportunity to do that now. They're all in better shape than when I played. And I don't know if drinking is as big a culture in hockey as it was during my career. So I'm going to say no. I don't believe they go out drinking near as much now as they did in my day.
Yeah, and that's what I understand. It's more like that. But what I liked is even after a game, you just go for 2-3 beers, have dinner, and then go back to your room, right? And just talk with the guys and hang out. And I think that's how you kind of bond and come together as a group.
All right.
I want to do this last one really quick. Sorry, Shaugger. So apparently Val Kilmer passed away today or this evening,
Yes.
which is very unfortunate. JL wanted to know, what's your favorite Val Kilmer movie? Anybody got...
Tombstone. Not even close. That guy was so good in Tombstone. Really,
that's a good call.
Amir Huckleberry, so good.
Great line,
So good.
I was gonna go with Top Gun, but you know what? Tombstone, that was a good one too, Struds.
Yeah, he played such an awesome character in Tombstone. I was gonna go Top Gun too, but I'm with you, Struds.
You changed our mind.
Look at you go.
Underrated movie. If you haven't seen the movie Wonderland,
yeah,
that's an excellent movie. He plays John Holmes in that movie, and it's a really good. It's a really like good performance. You kind of don't know. It's like historical dramatization, and I don't know. He's excellent. He's excellent in it. So
getting lots of we got Heat, Iceman, Top Secret, The Doors, Batman, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is also very underrated. So lots of Val Kilmer love. All right, that was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. Brownie, you are free, my friend. Struds, you got a few more segments, so hang in. Great job, Brownie. We will chat after the game on Thursday. Talk to you then.
The first of 3 games of Olivier Rodrigue.
Can't wait.
Get out of here. Beat it. Get out of here. That is Rob Brown. We're going to keep rolling right along here. So we're going to get to our scoreboard, and that is brought to you by Canadian Club. The all-new Canadian Club Classic 18-year-old high proof comes in at 58%, their highest proof Canadian Club Classic to date. Full-bodied whiskey with aromas of caramel, toffee, spicy vanilla, and rich oak with a butterscotch finish. Brownie got to some of it in his brownie point, Struds. There were some fantastic finishes in the NHL tonight.
Yeah, there were 10 games, so a pretty big lineup. Canes win in overtime. That was a big one. Senators lose 5-2 to the Sabres, so it was interesting, those two teams swapping. I think the Sabres actually swept them.
Did I see that Dylan Cousins was -4 in that game?
Yeah.
And like what a pizza for a turnover there too.
Right on the tape. Tape. So give him credit for a tape-to-tape pass. The Blues come back and win 2-1 in overtime over the Red Wings. So they keep their heater going 10 games, I believe, in a row. Yeah. The Flames lose to Utah. That's a big one. That one hurts the boys down in Calgary. And Utah does some other teams a favor. And then the Ducks and the Sharks go at it, and they win 4-3. The Ducks do. And finally, the Kings 4-1 winners over the Jets. So the Oilers don't gain ground on the Kings, but both teams gain ground on the Vegas Golden Knights.
All right, that's our scoreboard brought to you by Canadian Club. Want to dial in on a defenseman that we saw tonight? Real good defenseman, has been for quite some time. Let's get to our core blue liners. This is brought to you by Tom Lesko and the crew over at HSE Core Services. He's looking forward to beating the wheels off Struddy again on the tennis courts as soon as possible. Also looking forward to helping you out if you're a small to medium-sized business. They got your back when it comes to health and safety compliance. They support client operations every step of the way. Visit www.hsecor.com. Ask for Tom. He'll tell you some stories about victory over Struds. I too know that feeling on the golf course. Tom and I share that in common, Struds. Who are we looking at tonight?
Noah Hannafin. And when I think of this player, and I've always thought this of him, skating. He is a great skater for a big man. Gets around the ice, and we saw a couple examples of it today where I think even Louis made the comment. It looked like a forward coming off the wing. Like this guy can get up there and skate really, really well. He can score. He's got a good shot. He does just a little bit of everything. But if you've never seen this player before, just say he's an elite skater and a big man that can skate really well. He is a really good player, really good D-man.
Yeah, for sure. So I wonder with him looking at through the course of his career, like he's had some good offensive years. I mean, 48 points here, with Calgary back in 21-22. He's got 38 this year. So if you look back at Zach Werenski's point totals and stats a number of years ago, he was in that like 47, 41, 44, 48 range. Bit of a breakthrough season in 23-24 with 57. And then all of a sudden, boom, point a game performance from him. 8 years or so into his career, 7, however many years that is. Do you think that Noah Hannafin has it in him to have a Zach Werenski type year? We just haven't seen it yet.
I don't believe he has the same offensive skills that Werenski does. On like the way that Werenski is playing right now, controlling, it is elite. Like the elitist of the elitists. He's right up there. I don't think that Hanifin has that. Now, he's a really good player, but to get to that point where you can put that type of year together, a point per game year, I don't see that from Noah Hanifin. I don't see that type of those hands.
Because Werenski, he didn't do that previous to this season. This is kind of a first time for him. So he was similar in that points range. He took it to another level.
But if you ask most scouts and said, who has a more offensive upside, who do you think they would have gone, Noah or Werenski? And so the potential was there. Now, I didn't think he'd quite get to this level, but I always felt Werenski was more offensive than Hanifin. Hanifin does a lot of things well. He's going to get his points. And what did you say his ceiling is 50? 40, 50 he's hit?
Which one? Hanifin? Yeah, 48 I think is his high water mark.
So, I mean, he'll get probably I might not get to 40 this year, but I think that's kind of where he's in and around there, right? But I think Werenski always, to me, had the higher offensive ceiling.
Yeah, 47 was his high water mark. All right, that was our Core Blue Liner segment brought to you by HSE Core Services. We're being asked what our email address is by Dallas Scarlett, gybpod@gmail.com.
Nice.
That is gybpod@gmail.com. All right, quick break. Couple more segments when we come back. Struds, grab a quick nap in the commercial break, and we'll see you in a minute. For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today.
Specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck powertrain repair, performance, tuning, and part sales, Adrenaline Diesel's professional team is ready to assist you with all of your needs, from the simplest oil changes to engine conversions, overhauls, and engine modifications. Featuring an all-new online parts store and machine shop to manufacture, replicate, or repair parts, visit adrenalinediesel.ca.
All right, time now to take a couple of laps, brought to you by Acon. So if you're a skilled tradesperson or construction professional and you're looking for work in Western Canada, they want to hear from you. Send your resume in to trades@acon.com. They're building some of the largest multi-year industrial projects in Western Canada, and they are hiring. Great company. Fire in your resume, trades@acon.com, if you're a skilled tradesperson or a construction professional. Struds, where do we want to go tonight, my friend? I know we were going to do a little bit on Hudson, which we can also do, but we also are on Ovi watch as well, and he managed to grab himself another one.
Yeah, so those are all good stories, but I want to go to New York Islanders and talk about Patrick Waugh and Anthony Duclair. Duclair signed a 4-year deal this year, $14 million total. And after the game, and I get it, you have to understand this is the time of year where everyone realizes they're not making the playoffs, and you start looking for the frustration coming out. So the Duke, as I like to call him, played about 12 minutes tonight. But after the game, when asked specifically about Duclair, because he was benched in the third period, Patrick Waugh goes on to say, he was god-awful. He was god-awful. He had a bad game. That's why I didn't play him a lot. And he's lucky to be in the lineup. Goes on to say he's not skating, he's not competing, he's not moving his feet, he's not playing up to what we expect from him. So needless to say, Patrick was not happy with how the Duke is playing. There's not a lot of games left in this year, but there's 3 years left on that contract. And for the Islanders, Lou Lamoriello, Patrick Waugh, they've got a lot to sort out, in my opinion. But I think the Duke has 7 goals so far this year. So underperforming what he's being asked to do and should be able to do. He should be a 20-goal scorer.
So you missed a key part of the quote, which was, sorry if I lose it on him right now, but that's how I feel. And then said that it's an effort thing. So what do you make of Waugh going complete snap show like this?
I would like to believe that he's been told this. The Duke's been told this already. So it's not like it's just out of nowhere, right? You're just sitting on the bench thinking everything's fine, and then he tells you. I'm guessing Patrick Well would lean into his ear and say, "Buddy, you're not trying." Probably wouldn't use those words. Maybe show him video prior to this, because this just isn't a one-game thing. This usually it builds, right? If you're going to lose it on someone like this, it's been building for a while. So the Duke's in trouble. The Duke's in trouble in Long Island.
Just grabbing his stats here. Yeah. So he's 11 points in 44 games and minus 15 this season, which would be, I mean, he only had 50. Where was he? 23, 24. Yeah. He was well over 20 goals last season between San Jose and Tampa Bay. So that's a disappointing performance from him. Big time. Tough. All right, buddy. What else?
He should be 20. And lastly here, we'll go to, I feel bad for this player in Vancouver. Philip Hedl got hit from behind about 4 or 5 games ago, was out with concussion. He's had concussion use before when he was with the New York Rangers. And now Rick Tocchet gave an update today and said that it's most likely he won't play the rest of the year. So pretty big problem for the Canucks. They're trying to get into the playoffs, although that seems a bit far-fetched now. But once guys start checking out, he's not that he's checked up, but when they start taking players out of the lineup because of these injuries, you can probably start waving the white flag. Blommer.
Yeah. Wave it around, Blommer. Wave it. Okay, that was taken a couple of laps, brought to you by Acon. And once again, send your resume if you're looking for work to trades at acon.com. All right, Zuby, we got everything checked off the list, I think, right, buddy? We're good?
Got to give some poll results.
Poll results and play of the day. Okay, again, these poll results are loose. We can do them whenever. So go ahead right now if you want, Zuby, and dial it in for us.
All right, the results for the DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll today. How many goals will Leon Draisaitl finish with? 43% of the people being very safe and saying 56 to 57. 24% saying 58 to 59. 24% saying 60 plus. Only 7% saying 53 to 55. So, we're people are looking up there. I feel like that 56 to 57, that's pretty safe. If he plays all the games, I guess that's a big question, but that's how the people were feeling tonight.
There we have it. And a solid number of votes. We had a great audience, live audience tonight. Love it. Really solid numbers, great contributions as well. Jordan Noah comes in late here and says, just hopped in late after finally getting home with my first child. Sorry, can't stay for the stream. A little tired these days. Can't wait to listen tomorrow morning on Spotify. So yes, we are available across all platforms. So thanks to everybody for joining us and for the great contributions here on the stream. Let's get to our Gallery Dental play of the day. Take the first step towards a stress-free dental experience, providing modern dentistry for today's patient with the most up-to-date dentistry, sedation, implants, and so much more. Contact Gallery Dental, YEG.com. I am probably going to have to take this one, Struds, and say that you guys getting me hook, line, and sinker, teaming up on Shaugger and absolutely crushing me with an April Fool's joke. It was well executed. It was exactly the right content. I do think you guys should be insulted that that was believable, because you're bad with goalies, Struds. That was believable, that BS you were feeding me.
That's the magic of April Fools, right? Just making it believable enough that you bite on it. So you're welcome, Zuby and Randine. Put that together. And maybe we'll have another group chat or another Zoom call tomorrow. Zuby with her.
Yeah, don't text my wife, Struds. Don't text my wife.
Our weekly check-in.
I guess we'll have to do it.
We didn't get to 300 likes, though, so Struddy's not going to
no singing.
Have to sing anything.
Okay.
So what?
That's okay.
You know what? We know we don't like to pester people at all for the likes, but every time every time there's a mention, it does shoot up. So if we're gonna set some goals, we might have to have a couple more mentions, and people will just have to live with that. But
somebody actually had a really good idea, Zuby. They said if you want to get people to do it, just put what the record is, what our record likes is up on the screen, and just have it down in the corner, because people like to break records. Or if we set a target, put it on the screen.
Yeah.
So it's
I
always
agree.
just
We'll
sitting
come up
there.
with something visually too. We can use this number as the benchmark for what we know was on, because we get lots of likes after the fact too. So we'll have to, I think the benchmark has to be likes on the live stream. This is a very good number tonight. So we'll keep this. Good. This will be the starting point as live stream likes, and we'll go from there. That was Pizza Boy.
Love it.
Is Jordan saying, after finally getting home with my first child, is Jordan saying that they just had the child?
I think so.
That's how I read it.
So there was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a congratulations in order that I completely missed. So congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, congrats,
Indoctrinating
Jordan.
them.
You're
Yes,
about to
congrats.
start a wild ride, my friend.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy, buddy.
Okay, thanks, guys. Nice job. Struds, good job staying awake right till the end, buddy. And to all of you, thanks so much.
Why am I taking the heat?
For joining. Why are you taking the heat? Buddy,
yeah.
I mean, are you going to deny that you've been a little sleepy tonight?
I actually thought I was pretty good.
Sleepy?
Well, you're the one that had the
notice
nap
it?
finally. I know. I actually thought I was pretty good, but just if I don't answer when some brownie says, that means I have nothing else to contribute. I just I just sit here. Yeah.
Right. Well, rest up because you got a big show tomorrow, 12 o'clock Mountain Time.
Yeah.
It is Struddy's World. You guys, any preview of it? Any quick words, Struds?
Yeah, Jack Michaels and Darren Drager will join us.
Wow, that's a star-studded lineup.
It is.
On all of our platforms, then you can also download that in its own podcast form as well. We'll chat tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll see you.